Welcome back, Commander.
Yes, sir. Yes. Right away, sir.
Today's mission features no construction, but as we've seen from the briefing, that's not needed. We just have to convince the outside world that GDI's up to no good once again.
Waiting, moving out. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
As I often have to when I play missions like these, I had to restart a couple times. And the reason is because they take that whole, like, do not destroy anything very literally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, don't destroy anything that's not a unit.
Yes, sir. First vehicle reporting, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
It's a little weird, I guess, when you think about it, because apparently we're okay with calcifying units, you know, in a blazing fire, but blowing up a building is just like too much. One thing the game, I guess, doesn't tell you directly is that the infantry we have aren't actually flamethrowers. Those are chemical warriors. Basically, they act the exact same way as flamethrower soldiers. I'm sure there's a minor difference in like how much damage they do or like how quickly they do it. But for all intents and purposes, they're the same. The main thing that differentiates them between flamethrowers, aside from another mission failure, is that they don't take any damage from Tiberium fields. So it doesn't matter how deep they are, if they're next to blossom trees, they, in theory, should not take any damage from that.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Roger. Waiting or moving out. Right away, sir. Moving out.
Now, while they don't take any damage from Tiberium, I'm pretty sure they still take damage from friendly fire.
You got it.
Yep. Which, again, like, doesn't make any sense, because, you know, they shouldn't. By nature of what they do, the weapons they use, anyways, whatever. It just makes them kind of just subpar. I forget like how much they even cost, so I can't imagine that it's like a cost-efficient thing. It's more useful, I guess, if you have them just as a sort of, not even like a defense in your own Tiberium fields, but as like a sort of advanced guard for enemy Tiberium fields. Oh, and they're not immune to flame tanks, so, I mean, if I had flame tanks around, they would just get screwed over by them.
Reinforcements covering.
Yes, sir. Yes, waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting, sir.
Now, I thought I'd done a really good job. However, there seems to be a couple extra infantry down here belonging to GDI, and not just civilians, so
Waiting. Affirmative.
I gotta send my one of my flame tanks to deal with them.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Moving out. Affirmative. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Now, other than, I guess, talking to devs specifically, I don't think there's any way to ever know who built what maps. Like, if it was a solo thing, or were multiple people involved. Why is a flame tank getting stuck on nothing? Why is there a medium tank blocking a bridge? Why is this bridge so overpowered?
Yes, sir. Unit reporting.
It's kind of a dick move to do this sort of thing, guys.
Unit, yes,
Unit
yes,
lost.
sir, yes, sir. Acknowledged, yes, sir. Yes, Roger. Moving out, moving out. Waiting, moving out. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Moving out.
Well, I mean, there's no way but forward, I guess.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
But getting back to the whole map thing, again, I don't think there's any way for the player, like for me, to ever figure out who built what maps and when. Because it'd be interesting to see, I guess, if this was one of the later maps that they ever made. I guess the same thing would apply to Ground Zero, the map where GDI gets, the scientists get nuked. I guess I should say the delegates, but whatever, they're scientists. Just because, I mean, I like the layout of this map.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
While I don't necessarily agree with them using medium tanks to defend, like, important locations, it's still cool.
Affirmative.
Also, I thought I got reinforcements, but I guess not.
Waiting, moving out. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Moving out.
As with anything that involves flame tanks and either flamethrower soldiers or chem warriors, you kind of have to be careful as to where you are and what you're shooting. You kind of don't want to be in a position where you happen to damage like a building just enough to bring it into the red, and then some random fight next to it kills it.
Waiting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
I think at some point I'll have to check the map, or like in the map section, I'll probably check like all the buildings just to see which ones do and do not cause a loss condition. Other than the target ones, but those are a ways off anyways.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, other than being a little slow, again, I like this map. It shows you enough that you know where you're supposed to be progressing to. The objectives are super clear. The only thing that I could see being kind of a negative is if you happen to have a civilian that like ran off to the left into some fog of war. Just because like flame tanks are slow, so it's hard to get back to a location if you happen to miss one by the end of the mission.
Affirmative. Moving out. Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Unit reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, yes, sir.
Unit
Vehicle
lost.
reporting. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd been able to hold on to that flame tank a little longer. Technically, I should have just had like both attack, but whatever.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
At this point, I wasn't going to restart.
Unit moving out.
Not willingly, anyways.
Unit affirmative.
It's kind of weird that the game has like things to entice the player to attack them.
Vehicle moving out.
Oh hey, audio change. Can you guess why?
Moving out. Yes, affirmative. Yes,
Something in my brain was like, oh, maybe, like I know we've seen, you know, biochemical research labs and so on, but like maybe they're trying to trick me. I mean, this thing's got chain link fences and everything.
out. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
So it's a good thing this isn't a production map, because there's a hell of a lot of Tiberium around here.
Mechanical man.
Unit moving out. Unit moving out.
I'm not exactly sure how you'd ever get your chem warriors to this point. Again, just because of like all the different traps and units that are in place. But I guess at least you can rest easy that they wouldn't have to die from this.
Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Yes, sir.
At this point I was just checking to see like if there's anything hidden in some fog of war, but it doesn't look like it.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
It must be tough for these three houses. Like, how do you get anywhere? I guess technically that also goes for that guy that was trapped on the cliff edge.
I'm a mechanical man.
Yes, acknowledge. Awaiting order. Unit, yes, sir. Unit reporting.
So the game's got one last trick up its sleeve. Or at least this map has one last trick up its sleeve. Which, personally, I didn't really enjoy.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
So I'm on one flame tank. I guess technically, like, if I'd been more careful or something, I could have had two.
Unit,
But even still, I would have had two very damaged flame tanks.
moving out.
So there seems to only be one entrance. The other way obviously had the guard towers, so getting through there wouldn't be
Yes, sir.
likely.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Moving out.
You know, I really hate the fact that they get Humvees that just like have they keep moving in and out.
Yes, moving out. Moving out. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes,
So if you fight and you've only got one flame tank, you're kind of guaranteed to die.
unit.
Best bet is just like drag everybody as far into the Tiberium fields as possible.
Awaiting affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Moving out. Acknowledge. 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 Unit reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Alright, so you're thinking
Yes, moving out. Unit report.
I should have pulled everybody from the base. I mean, that was a lot of units, so there can't be anything else. I don't have any other reinforcements, which sucks. It would have been nice to get like maybe an extra flame tank or maybe some extra chem warriors. Who knows? So I'm just going to advance into this base.
Acknowledge.
And then the AI just gets 2 free Humvees.
Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative.
And since I don't have anything else, like I don't have any more reinforcements as far as I know, this ends up being super critical. Because you have to kill the Humvees, and they're coming after you.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
So I get really nervous here.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Alright, well, it's a good thing the flame tank gave me an infantry,
Yes, sir. Moving out.
but now I'm paranoid because I don't know what to do.
Right away, sir.
Like, I don't have anything that can take out buildings really easily.
Affirmative. Moving out. Affirmative.
And this looks like the biochem lab, so I might as well attack it. But we've already seen that buildings will sometimes spawn units, won't they? Well, it's the only thing I know how to do. Okay, I seem to be 1 for 1 for no units spawning. And yet I'm still incredibly paranoid. Because I can't get out now, either. So if I lose this unit, or like if it turns out there's a civilian somewhere, I'm screwed. Okay, nobody spawned in this one. Two for two. Except there seemed to have been like one unit there. And now I'm paranoid because I'm thinking, well, I gotta be close to like a guard tower or something. I'm just inching around everywhere. Will this be the end? Might this be the end? Hooray!